Hello, everyone. I would like to share with you a very profound understanding that I had after awakening happened. Many people think that once awakening happens, life gets really easy, no difficulties anymore, it's sunshine, happiness. But actually, it may be the other way around. It may be even more difficult. It may be even more turbulent. I remember doing a training for top managers in the topic of burnout. And I usually ask them some initial feedback after the training, and I get pretty good scores. But there was one person who said that, well, they expected something different, something more. And obviously, this is a good feedback to me, and I accepted the feedback. But I remember driving back home, I was very much triggered by this. And I was overly triggered by this, which was something very new to me, because usually I'm not triggered by this. I can openly accept these comments. But I felt anger, I felt sadness, a lot of emotions kept popping up, which was very new to me in this situation. But this kept on following me for days and days and days. And then I remember on a Sunday morning, I was sitting in my kitchen, drinking my tea, and I was telling myself, well, if there is no doer here, there is no doer there either. That was an incredible understanding. I remember laughing out loud, because there's no one here who wants to please the group or please the participants, and there's no one there to be pleased. Because there's no personal agenda behind anything. There is no personal identity here, and there's no personal identity there either. So it's not like there's no doer here, but otherwise there are doers. No, there's no doer here, and there's no doer there either, in nobody. There is no personal identity in nobody. Everything is happening by itself. Everything is arising and happening to no one. So there are no egos sitting. We imagine egos sitting, but there are no egos sitting there and talking to each other. That's only illusion. That's only imagination. Everything arises in awareness. And it is arising to no one. That was a profound understanding. Can you imagine how much relief that brought me? What's the point of feeling ashamed? What's the point of being angry about something? Because we imagine, we fantasize there is some purpose, there is some agenda behind everything we hear, behind everything we see. If there's something happening, if somebody does something, we always imagine some agenda to be there. But there is no agenda behind, because there is no doer behind. Everything is just arising without the involvement of the personal identity, without the involvement of a doer. So everything is just arising, pops up in awareness, and then leaves. And once we put all our content into this is why he said that, this is why she said that, this is why she did that, this is why he did that. Once we put our content to it, imagining something behind each and everything that is happening, that is arising, we create suffering. Once we put our content behind, we give birth to suffering. But there is no doer there either. There's no doer anywhere. There is no personal identity in no one. In no one. There is no persona nowhere. Such a release. Such a relief and release of many patterns you had before. Beautiful. I remember laughing out loud. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what an understanding. What an understanding. And obviously I'm not saying I have the ego with me still. And I'm not saying it's very easy to function like that in all situations. But there are many, many situations when I recall this knowing, and yes, there is no purpose, there is no agenda behind anything, no person, no personal identity. Everything is just happening by itself, without the involvement of the doer, without any doer, which makes life very easy. Beautiful. So yeah, everything that is happening, it's happening to no one. So there's no one here who wants to please others, and there's nobody there to be pleased. I'm just bringing up an example because I was a people pleaser for many years. So whatever pops up, there should be a knowing. There is a knowing that there's no agenda behind whatsoever. If we put the agenda we put behind is our agenda. Actually, it's our patterns behind, which creates the suffering for us. Okay. No doer, nowhere, no doer. Thank you very much for watching this. See you next time in my next video. See you. Bye bye.